whip. Good morning, councillors. May we please settle down so that we can check the quorum? Please. Now, Thank you very much, councillors. Can we please take our seats? Honorable older women, aldermen, and councillors, due notice was given of this continuation council meeting. We are a quorum, and I therefore declare this meeting duly constituted. I trust that you have all signed the attendance register for this meeting. Kindly note that it is of critical importance that you sign the attendance register. If you do not sign the attendance register, you will be marked absent from this meeting in the minutes. May we now begin with our continuation council meeting by observing a moment of silence in prayer and meditation, please. Thank you. Her Worship, the Executive Mayor, the Deputy Executive Mayor, Honorable Chief Kekan and his entourage, Honorable Chief Matlangu and his entourage, members of the Mayoral Committee, Leader of the Executive Business, Chief Whip of Council, Chair of Chairs, Chairpersons of Section 79 committees, leaders of all political parties represented in Council, Honorable Councillors, officials, members of the media, esteemed City of Tshwane residents, and the public. I welcome you all to this continuation council meeting. Honorable councillors, let me also officially welcome Councillor Litzipaka, Isaac Sikele, the newly elected ANC Ward Councillor, Ward 10. Councillor Sleke, can you please rise so that we can welcome and acknowledge you? Thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations and welcome to the City of Tshwane Metropolitan Municipality. Honorable councillors, the nation and the international diplomatic community is mourning the demise of Mr. Nathi Mthethwa, the South African is coming. The South African ambassador to France, who passed away on the 29th September 2025 at the age of 58. He served as the Minister of Safety and Security from 2008 to 2009 and the Police Minister from 2009 to until 2014. On behalf of the City of Tshwane, I would like to express words of condolences to his family and friends and to the organization that he was serving. May his soul rest in peace. Application for leave of absence. Honorable councillors, for purpose of informing council in as far as leave of absence for councillors from this council meeting is concerned. I will now call the Chief Whip of Council to present to council the approved leave of absence of councillors. Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As the Chief Whip of Council, I have been approved the following council in line with our city processes in inquiring leave of absence. Alderman Seabrink, DA leave. B. Twala, DA leave. I. Strydom, DA Leaf. S. Wilkinson, DA Leaf. J. Van Buren, DA Leaf. A. Van Niekerk, DA Leaf. T. Fosi, DA Leaf. D. Vandenberg, DA Leaf. K. Machaleng, DA Leaf. K. Smithing, DA Sick Leaf. SD Larray, DA Leaf. Alderman S. Deploy, FF Plus Family Responsibility Leave. J. Mataseli, Cope Exam. Speaker, I've got councillors who arranged to arrive late. S. Mabota, good, 11:30. H. Flourish, Action SA, 11:30. Honorable Speaker, I've got councillor who requests us to leave early. Alderman J. Tyson, FF Plus, 16 hour. W. Jacobs, FF Plus, 13 hour. Shane Mass, DA, 17 hour. Andrew Lash, DA, 17 hour. E. Basson, DA, 17 hour. J. Kotsi, Action SA, 14 hour. P. Modise, ANC, 13 hour. Those are submitted, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip. Yes, Chief Whip Erasmus.
Thank you, Speaker. Councillor Andre Jacobs. A leave form was also handed in, and it is on the list. Everything was given through.
Okay, thank you. Can you make that available to the Chief Whip? Thank you. Official notice, announcement and filling of vacancies, of casual vacancies. Honorable councillors, who's calling?
Eating.
Say it again.
Application was for the previous meeting, not for this one. I am present.
Okay. May I also ask you, Councillor, if you are not coming from the same party as FF Plus, can you please approach the Chief Whip so that what you are asking can be recorded, unless you are from. Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Councillors, casual vacancies had occurred in Council following the removal of Councillor A. Leroux and B. Govender as Action SA representatives in the city of Tshwane with effect from the 29th September 2025. In accordance with item 18 of Schedule 1 of Local Government, Municipal Structures Act 1998, Act 117 of 1998, the Chief Electoral Officer must declare in writing the person whose name is at the top of the applicable party list to be elected in a vacancy. This, however, is subject to item 20 of said Schedule 1, in accordance with which the party concerned may supplement, change, or increase its list by not later than 21 days after the councillor has ceased to hold office. The vacancy must be filled within 14 days after expiry of 21 days period. Unopposed and proposal by the Speaker and other proposals allowed by the Speaker. Determination of the upper limits of salaries, allowance and benefits of the different members of the Municipal Council for the financial year 2024-2025. Honorable Councillors, the Office of the Chief Whip have received a letter dated 26 September 2025 from the Office of the MEC of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs relating to determination of the upper limits of salaries, allowances and benefits of different members of the Municipal Council for the financial year 2024-2025 of the City of Tshwane Metropolitan Municipality. The letter is in response to the request of concurrence in relation to the approved 5% salary increase for the 2024-2025 financial year for councillors by council at its meeting. Okay, I'll continue, but you must come and fix the problem. We can't keep on cutting each other. The letter is in the letter is in response to request of Can you please attend to this? The letter is in response to the request for concurrence in relations to the approved 5% salary increase for the 2024-2025 financial year for councillors by council at its meeting held on the 12th of September 2025. The MEC in his letter, among others, stated that he grants concurrence to the City of Tshwane to implement Government Gazette number 51419 of 21st October 2024, read in conjunction with the Amendment Government Gazette number 53168 of 14 August 2025. At grade 6 in terms of section 7.3 of the Remuneration of Public Office Bearers Act 1998, Act number 20 of 1998 as amended, read together with the two affirmationed gazette. The MEC therefore granted the City of Tshwane concurrence to implement the applicable 2.5% salary increase for 2024-2025 financial year. The letter from the MEC has been loaded on SharePoints for ease of reference. In other words, every councillor should have access on the letter. Matters not considered by Council on the 25th September 2025 as a result of the adjournment in terms of Section 23(1)(d) of the Rules and Orders Honorable Councillors, during our council meeting on the 25th September 2025, and before the meeting could be adjourned, we were just about to consider the resolutions by the Mayoral Committee, Annexure A and Annexure A1. Let us now proceed with our agenda.
All working on this.
Thank you very much. Resolutions by the Mayoral Committee, Annexure A and Annexure A1. Honorable Councillors, you have 60 minutes in total to discuss Annexure A and Annexure A1. Resolutions of the Mayoral Committee, 13th August 2025. A1. Then A2, I've got Councillor Pesco. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Speaker, as a councillor of the Freedom Front Plus, I address council in the spirit of oversight and constitutional accountability. The 24-25 funding plan, as presented, is not only a structurally flawed one, it is in stark revelation of the city's deteriorating financial discipline and service delivery capacity. Let us be clear. A city collecting rates of only 85% are far below the targeted 95%. This is not a marginal gap. It is a fundamental failure in revenue management. Without a credible plan to close this gap, the funding strategy collapses under its own weight. The city's liquidity crisis is deepening by its shortfall, and the proposed remedies are vague, untested, and in some cases, speculative. Even more alarming are the unprecedented losses in the core services. Electricity distribution loses now 21%. Water losses.
Just a second, Councillor. Can you please, operator, allocate time? Thank you.
Water losses, Speaker. On this table, I have a bottle representing the total amount of water received by the city. The red part shows the losses in this city of Elk. This is not technical inefficiencies. It's a systematic breakdown. These figures are triple and double the representative national benchmark. Speaker, these failures are not operational. They are constitutional transgressions. Section 152 of the Constitution obligates municipalities to ensure sustainable service delivery. This is not a breach of mandate. This is totally haywire. This Freedom Front Plus cannot support a funding plan that is built on uncertainty, weak oversight, and constitutional neglect. We look at the water losses once again. The Freedom Front Plus will not endorse a plan that fails its residents. A credible revenue recovery strategy is needed. Targeted action and reduced electricity and water losses are vital. Transparent disclosure and risks and liabilities should not be negotiated. Speaker, mediocrity is deplorable. I thank you.
A2. Let's move to A3. I've got Councillor. Where is the end? Okay, Leader of the Executive.
Speaker, the item that we are on, it's about preliminary figures. That's one. Number two, it's funding plan. Therefore, the councillor moved to the second item instead of first item.
Is that the red stuff?
Yeah, then is that red suit 8 that you are drinking there? Yeah, let's get it right so that when we want to engage, we engage on the right item, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Then we are moving to the next item. And then this item, Councillor Pesco, you've got 3 minutes. This is another item. We're on item 3. You mean the item 3 has already spoken on it? Councillor Pesco, is that true?
Thank you, Speaker. If the leader of the executive business just listened for one moment, you would have heard that you went over point number 1 and we were at point number 2 rightly. So let's rather get some sleeping pills for the leader of executive business because he's carrying on in that way. Speaker, regarding this one, I'm going to waive.
3, 4, 5. Then on item 6, I've got Councillor Pesco.
Speaker, the SAMCO report exposes a deepening crisis in asset governing. Of the 13.8 billion in asset under constructions, only 974 million has been capitalized, a mere 7.5%. At the current rate, 88.6 million per month. Full capacitation will only be achieved, not as the mayor has said in 4 years, but only in 2037. With other words, we are totally losing track of this project. To add insult to injury, this report is riddled with contradictions. Right-of reports deferred, leaving millions in limbo. Misrepresenting AUCs of 556 million in governance support cluster. Disparities in the CSDS figures 351.9 million versus 156.6. 200 million discrepancy. Duplicate invoices, incorrect comparisons, and system errors. Speaker, to meet the 4-year target, the city must capitalize at 272.5 million every month. We're doing currently at 8. 3 times the current space. This is not a technical gap. It is governance failure. Verification is equally dire. Only 8% of the assets have been verified, far below the 20% target. Heritage assets remain untouched. Right-of reports are routinely deferred. Discrepancies of hundreds of millions, like those of the CSDS, go unresolved. These are not oversights. They are breaches of audit integrity. Speaker, the Freedom Front Plus will not tolerate this lack of action. We propose 4 immediate actions. Monthly capitalization targets should be met at 272 million per month. Independent verification task team, a skilled task team, should do the work. Impact oversight and forensic audit should be done on all discrepancies. Consequent management should not only be a word, it should be done in this city of ours. Speaker, billions.
Thank you very much. 6. Yes, Leader of the Executive.
Speaker, I think if we don't engage Councillor Pasco, he'll sound like he's saying something right. He's not saying anything right. Let's help him. If you invest in maintenance, repairs and maintenance, the net result is technical losses that you're going to experience from the previous item. Now, city manager and his team put together a team called SAMCA to look at material irregularities, respond to Auditor General, try to fix issues around asset under construction. That is the intervention, Councillor Pasco. Something that there was no appetite in the previous government to put their finger on ensuring that we've got an improved audit outcome. Now, this is a good initiative. You must acknowledge first. How you deal with asset under construction, it differs from one. There are different variables involved. Now, we've got Refueler Stadium, for example. Auditor General comes and says, this stadium, you've been building it for 8 years. What are you doing with it? Now, the contractor and the city, they're litigating each other. There's an arbitration process. You can't capitalize on that project, complete it and capitalize it. Now, it remains in the Auditor General's viewpoint that this is an asset under construction. Now, city manager and the executive says, no. We are putting the arbitration to make sure that the project is at 95%. It must be completed, this project, so that we can capitalize it. And many other projects, you've got drawings of engineers, you've got designs and everything that were kept in the files and they were not attended to. Now, when city manager brings all these issues and says, cancel, let's write off Ramotse 400 million of a project that was not completed, SUWA. That's progress that we must appreciate. Because these things, if stubbornly are left unattended, yeah, there's a cockroach.
One, two. What are you standing on, Councillor Ace?
Speaker, on a point of order, I'm not sure what the Leader of Executive Business is, what he has a speaking turn on. He's not on the speaker's list. He's not closing a debate. He didn't call a point of order. He's just sitting here keeping us busy for 10 minutes with his speech. There's no space in the rules for what is happening here, and I would like you to get control of your meeting. Thank you.
Councillor Ace, you know, you must stay in the meeting. Wait, I'm responding. You must stay in the meeting until the discussion is done. Then go out. No, wait, I'm responding. I allowed the Leader of the Executive to speak. You must stay in the meeting until the item is finished, then you can go, so that when you come back, you comment on something that you heard. You were outside. We are on another item. where the Councillor Pesco spoke. Now, the leader of the executive is responding. If I may, if you can allow me, it's not so noted, Councillor Check Ace, you can put your hand down. Put your hand down. Can I, if you don't mind, councillors, can I request a 20 minutes break to allow the technician to deal with the system? Because it's keep on cutting us off. Then when we come back on that 20 minutes, then I'll allow you to speak, and Councillor Ace, but you must understand and know that I'm the one that gives the permission for anyone to speak. So it's fine, it's fine. It's fine. We will speak after 20 minutes. This meeting, just a break for 20 minutes, please. Thank you. That means we'll be back at it's 20 past, I think it's 20 past 10. That's when we'll be back. Thank you very much. Thank you, councillors. Can we then start our meeting or resume with our meeting? Thank you very much. Can we proceed with our meeting, please? Can we all be seated? Thank you. When I requested for a 20 minutes break, which I think the technicians has addressed the issue of the sound. I was about to allow the chief whip of the opposition to speak. What are you standing on? What are you standing on, chief whip of the opposition?
Speaker, I just want to clarify the point that I made when I was standing on a point of order. The leader of executive business interrupted the speech of the member of the Freedom Front. He was not done. He was not done. There was an interruption. So this was not a closing of the debate that was happening. This was not a closing of the debate that was happening. This was the leader of the executive business that was speaking out of term and giving a speech which should not have been allowed. I'm not going to fight this further. I'm not going to fight this further. I'm just asking that for the rest of the meeting, can we please stick to the rules of council? Thank you.
Can I respond? I'll say it again. If you were outside, don't come back and wait, because the leader of the executive spoke after Councillor Pesco has done. You don't know that because you were not here. You were outside. Don't, Councillor, don't do that. You were not here. The speaker was speaking on item 6 and he was done when the leader of the executive asked to speak. So please, Councillor, you were not in the house. We cannot continue like that. Then let's move on to item 6, A6. A7, I've got Councillor P. Mayor, Councillor W. Jacobs, and Councillor P. Miller in that particular order. Councillor Mayor, your 3 minutes starts now.
Thank you, Speaker. I wish to raise serious concerns about the airport report. Let us remember, the idea to privatize the airport came from the previous governing coalition of which the Freedom Front Plus formed part. It was a good plan. It aimed to bring private investment, create jobs, and reduce the financial pressure on our municipality. But this report doesn't follow a plan. Instead of action, we see delay. Instead of clear steps, we see some confusion. Let me give 3 examples. Firstly, timeline problems. The report adds more studies and meetings. even though many of these were already done before. This slows down the process. It is not progress, it is delay. Monetary figures changes. On page 127 of the report says that we expect 250 million rand investment by mid-2026, but then on page 138, it suddenly changes to 180 million rand. There's no reason given, no explanation. This is not honest reporting. Thirdly, there's an unclear management plan. Page 145 talks about a hybrid model, but what it does, it doesn't say it all, and what it will do and how it will be implemented. Will the private sector run the airport? Will the municipality still be involved? Speaker, investors need clear answers. This airport is important. It can help our economy grow. It can bring jobs. It can help our budget. But only if we act with focus and honesty. We as the Freedom Front Plus do not block progress. We support good plans, but we cannot support confusion and delay. Our positive inputs would be to, firstly, fix the monetary figures and show the real number.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Your 1.5 minutes is finished. Then I'm calling Councillor Jacobs, your 1.5 minutes. Councillor Jacobs.
Speaker, Councillor Jacobs has given his 1.5 minutes to me as well. So I'll be finished just now. Just give me the remainder of the minute which is left.
Go ahead, if that's the
Speaker,
arrangement.
our positive inputs would be to fix the monetary figures and show the real numbers. Give us a clear plan with deadlines. Remove extra steps that waste time. Let us respect the original plan. Let us move forward with purpose. The airport must serve the people, not a politics with the hidden agenda of the current governing coalition. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Miller. From DA, your 3 minutes starts now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have been a member of this council now for 25 years. In that time, I've seen many turnaround plans for Wonderboom Airport. None of them have come.
Thank you, councillors. Can we allow the councillor to speak? Thank you.
Wrong, yeah. None of these plans have come to anything, but I do hope that this plan does succeed. One of the consistent causes of failure has been the management of leases with the tenants at the airport. Over 25 years, there have been multiple problems. Tenants not having proper leases, or paying too little rent, or too much, or the leases are unfair, or too old, or sometimes no lease at all. These problems have prevented the tenants from having confidence in the management of the airport. The tenants are a very important component of the airport. Without them, you cannot have stability and achieve growth. For the airport to thrive, it is important to recognize tenants as important stakeholders. Ideally, these leases should be able to generate enough income to cover the costs of running the airport. Then anything earned after that will be profit. This is the model used by AXA and successful airports around the world. The profit can then be used for improvements and expansion to the airport. Further, there's still some vacant land at the airport that can be developed. That must also be looked at to bring in further income. We need this turnaround plan to work this time. The city needs a good, profitable airport. Another thing, good leases were concluded with the help of the DA when it was still in charge of this municipality. Also, the airport moved back to a Category 5 under the DA. Things get done under the DA, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. A7. A8, I've got Councillor Pesco, your 3 minutes. Councillor Pesco, please press the button.
Speaker, the A8 has already been done. It's the SAMCO, unless you are with another one that I don't know of. But the A1 is the SAMCO one there was some discussion on. However, while having the floor, I would like to ask the executive, the leader of executive business, how is it possible that with amnesia and with sleeping problems, that he still has a tendency to have selective hearing? Because on the SAMCO, it is on record that the Freedom Front Plus said unequivocally that we support capitalization of assets under construction. So please, let us wake our leader of executive business and pay attention. Thank you, Chair.
A8. A8. Thank you. Can you please fix the aircon for us, please? It's hot here. Then let's move to A9. I've got Councillor James J. Spey. Your 3 minutes.
Honourable Speaker, this compliance report is yet another indictment of the ANC-led administration in Tshwane. We are told that 74% of compliance items were completed on time, but let us be clear, that is not success, it's failure. A quarter of the legally required submissions were either late, incomplete, or lacked any evidence whatsoever. That is not compliance, that is negligence, and negligence with public money always carries the stench of fraud and corruption. The weakest performance is in budget-related reporting. If entities cannot account for their budgets properly, then how do we know whether funds are being spent lawfully? We don't. Missing evidence, delayed reports, and incomplete submissions open the door to irregular expenditure and looting. Residents are left with collapsing infrastructure, broken service, and no answers. The report indicates that meetings are not scheduled in accordance with legislation. That is not a mistake. That is deliberate disregard for the law. Even worse, not a single municipal entity has explained why they failed or how they will fix it. No root causes, no mitigation plans, no accountability. Heads of departments have abandoned their duty, while cadre deployment ensures that loyalty to the ANC is rewarded and competence is ignored. Even the president of the ANC recently admitted that the majority of ANC-led municipalities are failing to deliver the most basic services because of incompetence and mismanagement. Cadre deployment has hollowed out governance, replacing skill with loyalty and leaving municipalities like Tshwane to collapse under the weight of incompetence. Speaker, this is not just poor governance, it is the breeding ground of corruption. Without evidence and accountability, public funds disappear while residents remain in the dark. We cannot allow this to continue. Compliance is not paperwork, it is the foundation of honest government. The mayoral committee must do more than take cognizance. It must demand consequences. Without accountability, this report is no more than another warning that will likely be ignored. Thank you, Speaker.
A9. A10, Councillor Spey, come back. 3 minutes.
Honourable Speaker, today we are presented with a report that, while dressed in the language of functionality and progress, reveals a troubling pattern of negligence, non-compliance, and managerial decay within the City of Tshwane's governance framework. The C9 system, once hailed as a cornerstone of our smart city ambitions, has become a bureaucratic treadmill, churning out reports with little regard for timelines, accountability, or impact. Let us not be misled by the superficial metrics. Yes, 240 reports were initiated in Q4, but what of the 83 outstanding comments? What of the departments that failed to submit a single report? For instance, health, rock, and others. This is not innovation, it is institutional inactivity. The delays are not minor administrative hiccups. They are symptomatic of a deeper rot. Waiting times of over 50 days for stakeholder comments, especially from economic development and housing, are totally unacceptable. These delays compromise service delivery, stall decision-making, and erode public trust. And yet the report dispassionately notes no financial implications. I ask, Mr. Speaker, what is the cost of dysfunction? What is the price of wasted time, missed opportunities, and stalled development? And what is the Mayoral Committee enthusiastic response? Cognizance taken. This is none other than a masterclass in evasion. Where is the accountability for departments that consistently fail to meet their reporting obligations? Where are the consequences for those who ignore the 2019 resolution mandating comment within 3 days? Speaker, the exclusion of declined and retracted reports from statistics is a deliberate bafflement. It sanitizes the data, conceals inefficiency, and undermines transparency. The Chief Audit Executive rightly calls for the inclusion, but recommendations alone will not suffice. We need enforcement, not encouragement. This report is a monument to managerial complacency. What is urgently needed is a full audit of departmental compliance, the immediate implementation of KPIs for C9 delegates, and a public disclosure of all delayed and withdrawn reports. The people of Tshwane deserve better than a system that functions in name but fails in practice. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. 8, 10, 11, 12, then 13. I've got Councillor Mayor. 3 minutes, that's now.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, today I highlight a specific omission from the service delivery agreement and the role of TIDA as described in the report. Let me start with a reminder. The plan to use TIDA to manage the fresh produce market as a private business was part of the strategy of the previous governing coalition, a coalition in which the Freedom Front Plus proudly took part. The goal was clear: make the market more efficient, attract private investment, and reduce the financial pressure on the municipality. It was a practical plan based on service delivery and economic growth. But now, as we sit in opposition, we must ask, does this report still support that plan? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Let me explain. The fresh produce market is not mentioned in the entire section on the service delivery agreement with TIDA. There is no reference to the fresh produce market. TIDA's role is described in general terms: investment promotion, facilitation, development, but the market is not listed as part of its work, and this is a serious omission. Secondly, there is no clear business model. The SDA, or the Service Delivery Agreement, speaks about improving service, but it does not say how. There are no numbers, no deadlines, and no mention of commercial operations. The original plan was to inter alia run the market like a private business. This is not reflected here. Thirdly, there is no accountability. The report refers to responsible departments, but does not name them. Who must act? Who must report? Without names, there is no accountability, which weakens oversight. Speaker, the removal of the management of the market by TIDA is not just about a missing paragraph. It is about a market that supports farmers, feeds families, and drives local trade. If TIDA is meant to manage it, then the SDA must say so, clearly and directly. We as the Freedom Front Plus would demand MACA to reconsider the role of TIDA with 3 instructions. Confirm that TIDA will manage the fresh produce market as a private business as originally planned. Include measurable targets and timelines for market operations. Name the officials responsible for oversight and delivery. We want to protect the market, increase income generated based on private business principles. We honor the plan we initiated. Let us serve the people with clarity and purpose. This report claims TIDA to be a vehicle for economic growth, but it merely purports another paper exercise, which I can guarantee will not bear the promised results. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 8, 13, 14, 15, 16. Honorable Councillors, now that we have disposed of Annexure A, we can move to Annexure A1. A1, Resolutions of the Mayoral Committee, 20th August 2025. A11. 2, I've got Councillor Pesco.
Thank you, Speaker. Numbers don't lie. Tshwane's capital budget was 2.3 billion. The city claims 95% expenditure raised to 98.5% when the so-called commitments are included. Yet, only 47% of the projects met milestones, while 51% are delayed and 2 are suspended. That means that more than half of our projects failed, despite billions being spent. This, Speaker, is not performance, it is collapse. It reflects spending without delivery, reporting without truth, governance without accountability. The report's referral expired tendencies that cripple departments, milestones missed, disputes, fully expenditure, and no root cause analysis, no recovery plans, no consequence management. And to compound this failure, the Section 80 Committee, once tasked with oversight, has been left dormant, silenced when it is needed the most. Section 152 of the Constitution demands sustainable service delivery and accountability. Speaker, Tshwane is failing its residents. The Freedom Front Plus say, enough waste, enough collapse. Tshwane must deliver. But unlike others, we do not only criticize, we propose that to reactivate the Section 18 Committee, compel root cause and recovery reporting, establish a capital recovery task team, enforce consequence management for officials and contracts who fail to perform. Billions are spent, but only half is delivered. The residents deserve roads and services. The Freedom Front Plus will keep fighting for transparency, integrity, and delivery that honors the Constitution. I thank you.
Thank you very much. A12. Okay, Leader of the Executive.
Speaker, I want to draw your attention to Rule 34.2. If you have a rule book, I want us to engage on that rule and demystify the lies that were told here earlier on by the former bookkeeper.
Rule 4.2.
34.2.
84.
34.
Oh, 34.
By the former social club bookkeeper. She was balancing books of premiums.
Yes, Leader of the Executive,
Are
34.2.
you there, Speaker?
Yes, I'm there.
Then it says that the Speaker may permit the Executive Mayor, Member of Mayoral Committee, Chair of Chairs, or a Chairperson of Oversight or Standing Committee to make an explanatory statement prior to the consideration of any particular item contained in the report of the Executive Mayor, Oversight or Standing Committee, or during the discussion of that report, in reply to a specific question. Speaker, if we're insulted and lies have been peddled, if I raise a hand, allow me in terms of Rule 34.2 to respond to those lies that were told by the bookkeeper of a social club in Pretoria East. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Ace. What are you standing on?
Speaker, I don't know why you allow us to be taken back, but since we are taken back here, number one, this is an annexure. It is not a report for consideration. Number two, it is not a report for consideration. Number three, there was no question asked. But Speaker, I'm requesting, let us not go back. Previously, I already said I don't want to make a fight about this. Just run the meeting properly, and I'm requesting it again.
Councillor, we are still on annexures here. We are still on annexures, and annexures are reports from the MEICO. You know better. So, if you are engaging on annexure, if there is a response that needs to come, the executive must give the explanation. The executive did not interfere in anyone speaking. They allow them to speak, then they come in to explain. So we are done with Annexure A1. We are done with Annexure A1. We are on Annexure A11 now. And then the speaker was speaking on 2. So I don't know why are you complaining. We are still on annexures. And those annexures are reports from the MEICO. It's the only thing, Councillor, is we cannot do recommendations on these annexures, but we can engage. So if the leader or the executive wants to explain something on the annexure, I am permitted to allow the person to do so. So we haven't passed anywhere here. He's not taking us back. He's just, you said, you asked me, wait. Linda, try to listen when someone is speaking. Mamela, Councillor Ace, Mamela. When I said I gave the permission to the leader of the executive to speak, you asked me which rule, and he's raising the rule. So I don't know what is your problem. So we are moving on. Thank you very much. Let's A112. We've got A13. We've got Councillor Annie Marie. Annie Marie, your 3 minutes starts now. Yes. Councillors, I can't hear the response this side. Councillor Marie, what are you saying? Who's speaking on behalf? You are all pressing the mic. I don't know what are you doing. Can the person that speaks on behalf of Councillor Marie to press the mic alone, not the rest? Councillor Kreb.
Thank you, Speaker. Point of information. 34.2 is quite specific. It says here, in reply to a specific question. If there are no...
Sorry, Councillor. Don't do that. I'm calling you to give your speech on behalf of Councillor Marie. you don't respond on what has been discussed. Are you raising a point of order on behalf of Councillor Marais, or are you giving a speech? All right. So Councillor Marais is not speaking. All right. The mic is for one person that is called. What is the point of information, Councillor?
Thank you, Speaker. Rule 34.2 has got a very specific. It states at the end, in reply to a specific question. So therefore, if the leader of executive business responds, they must be responding to a specific question asked in any response. It's very clear. The rules is the rule. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. I really, just a second. I really don't understand why are you having an issue when the executive is responding. I don't know why are you having an issue. An executive, an MMC has a permission, and that permission is granted by the Speaker to speak on the report. Annexures are reports of the MEICO. It's not just it's not from somewhere. It's a report from MEICO. So he has a right if I give a permission to speak. So we are not going back. Can we move on? Thank you so much. Got Councillor Marais, can you please come in on item 3?
Blink, there you are. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Imagine you have a leaking roof. If you just put a bucket under the drip, you only treat the symptom, the water on the floor, but the leak keeps coming back and the problem never goes away. To truly fix it, you must climb up and repair the roof. This is exactly what the city of Tshwane is doing right now, offering residents buckets instead of real solutions. In the State of the City address, the mayor proudly said we are a step closer to electrifying informal settlements. But this creates expectations that simply cannot be met and frustrates residents. Here are the facts. In 15 years since 2010, Tshwane electrified 25,798 households. That's about 1,720 per year. With nearly 200,000 households in informal settlements today, it would take over 116 years to connect all of them at the current pace. So let's be honest, in your term, not even in your lifetime, will every informal settlement be electrified if we continue like this? And affordability is another reality. In Tshwane, where unemployment is high and many residents are undocumented, prepaid meters will not guarantee payment. Those who cannot afford electricity will simply bypass the meters or recollect illegally. Prepaid meters can help. They formalize consumption, allow the city to track usage, and if paired with subsidies and free basic electricity, they can give the poorest at least essential power. But prepaid meter on their own, they will not solve the problem. Finally, we must not ignore the rapid growth of informal settlements. Just 4 months ago, you confirmed, that's the mayor, that the number of informal settlements rose from 220 in 2019 to over 500 in 2025. A 50% increase in just 6 years. At this rate, electrification is a moving target. The real priority must be addressed. It must be to address the root causes of this rapid expansion, not creating promises that set people up for disappointment. The real crisis is not being addressed. Until the city deals with the causes of this growth, service delivery promises will remain empty words. Residents deserve honesty. They deserve leaders who fix the roof and not just put out buckets. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. A13. A4. Then on A5, I've got Councillor Spey. Someone want to speak this side? Who is that? Okay, MMC.
Yeah, thank you very much, Speaker. I was still trying to listen what the packet was doing on the speech, but let me just correct one thing. This report is a plan of this current coalition government via the mayoral committee. In fact, we are not here to seek for approval. We are here to tell the council that this is our plan, and we are going to implement the plan whether DA wants it or not. It's because because I was still talking, I was still coming to Freedom Plus. So because it was a
Councillors. Thank you. Go ahead, MMC.
Speaker, in the previous government led by the African National Congress, we have a program called the electrification of the informal settlement. Unfortunately, the DA-led government cancelled that program. So we are restarting the program. We are going to ensure that we are going to put electricity to our people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, point of information.
Thank you very much. The information of the electrification program is duly noted, clearly showing the ANC's prerogative to just throw a bone to the residents of the city of Tshwane and no willingness to give them dignified housing.
Thank you very much. Then we move to item 5. With item 5, I've got Councillor Mayor and Councillor Spey. Your 3 minutes starts now, Councillor Mayor.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I rise concerning a matter in the report contained. According to the finance comments, there are no financial implications, but this statement is deeply problematic. We are dealing with a court case where the council lost, and all costs are payable. Surely this has financial implications. Legal proceedings, especially at this level, are not so free. When senior counsel is involved, the costs escalate significantly. On average, senior counsel fees range from 40 to 60,000 rand per day, excluding preparation time, junior counsel and administrative costs. For both parties, we are likely looking at hundreds of thousands of rands. So I ask, how can finance say there are no financial implications? More importantly, the council is liable for all costs. This includes the opposing party's legal fees. That means public money, our residents' money, is being used to pay for a legal defeat. And this raises a serious question. Can these costs be defined as fruitless and wasteful expenditure? According to the MFMA, fruitless and wasteful expenditure is spending that could have been avoided if reasonable care had been taken. If this case was mishandled, or if any legal advice was ignored, then yes, it qualifies. Now let us consider the impact. Every rand spent on legal costs is a rand not spent on capital improvements. The market project, to which I referred previously, which already faces delays and underinvestment, will suffer. We are trying to attract investment, improve infrastructure, and support local business, but instead we are paying legal bills. This is not just a financial issue, it is a governance issue. We must ask, who is accountable? Which systems failed? And how do we prevent this from happening again? Speaker, I urge this council to demand a full breakdown of all the legal costs, and we'll do it through impact, a review of the decision-making process and clarity on how this affects our capital expenditure plans. We owe this to our residents to be transparent, responsible, and financially wise. This current coalition government has failed us dismally. We as Freedom Front Plus will expose this to our constituents, which will ensure us coming back in government the next term. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Spey.
Honourable Speaker, what we are dealing with here is nothing less than a collapse of governance, negligence on a grand scale and blatant contempt of the law. A High Court has now found the city in contempt of Judge Neersingh's order, and Judge Teffo has gone so far as to threaten imprisonment of the municipal manager and the executive mayor if compliance is not forthcoming. This is not some minor oversight. It is a damning indictment of the city that has ignored court orders, squandered public resources, and exposed itself to massive legal and financial risks. The fresh produce market has been left to rot through underfunding, mismanagement, and broken promises. Stakeholders warned of legal action. They were ignored. IMASA went to court. Still, the city dragged its feet, hiding behind legal technicalities and half measures. Even after the allocation of 18 million rand, we see incomplete projects, shifting excuses, and a refusal to take accountability. Now the courts themselves are forced to act as enforcers of basic service delivery in this city. Let us be clear. It is a disgrace to this council and a betrayal of the residents of Tshwane when the judiciary has to threaten our officials with jail time before they do their jobs. This contempt of court is more than a legal issue. It is a symptom of political arrogance, cadre deployment, and administrative failure. And every cent wasted here is a cent stolen from economic growth, job creation, service delivery, and taxpayers at large. We cannot allow the city to stumble from the one court case to the next, whilst bleeding money the city simply doesn't have. The executive must be held to the highest standard. No more excuses, no more delays, no more contempt. Because governance by contempt is not governance at all. It is collapse. Thank you, Speaker.
Okay, Leader of the Executive.
Thanks for granting me this permission, Speaker, to deal with the issue that MMC Bushielo raised. These are mayoral committee resolutions that council must note. We are not negotiating on our decision making. Therefore, if you listen to the last speaker, the issue is attack, criticize. They've been criticizing a decision of neglecting fresh produce market and a court order that was against their own government. These ones that are making noise, this judgment was against their mayor. Mayor, who was that mayor? Mayor Randall. The fresh produce market was against them, your government. You can't even read and see what is contained in the reports. You have political jealousy. You must deal with it. You are so adults that can deal with your sacient jealousy. Deal with your jealousy. We can help it. You need psychological intervention. We can help you. One thing that you must accept is that we are moving nicely. We are governing. We are governing. We are a year old. By the way, let me share with you something. Yesterday, we were celebrating 1 year in office. If you didn't heal in 1 year, you've got a problem. 1 year, you are still struggling to come to terms that we are a government. You have a problem. Take all your pills. If you are taking hypertension, drink them regularly. If you are on diabetes, make sure that you don't skip any of those because you are going to die.
Thank you very much, MMC.
We are dealing with a bunch of jealous adults, even pensioners, jealous pensioner. Focus on your health. Leave this government. We are governing. We are going nowhere.
Thank you, MMC. A15. Then on A16, I've got Lina van Rensbeck from the FF Plus. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Honourable Speaker, the MFMA is not a guideline, it's a law. And yet, this report reveals multiple areas of non-compliance. A liquidity ratio of 0.97 is well below the Treasury norm of 2.1, threatening short-term solvency. Under expenditure of the capital budget due to delayed SHRAF funding and unresolved legal disputes at Chantal. 23 unresolved audit findings in breach of Section 166 and 167. We are not jealous, business leader of executive. Continued vacancy of CFO posts, violating Section 56. Rental collection gaps and stakeholder payment delays, contravening Section 62 and Section 95. Your report is breaking MFMA law. These failures comprises not only of HCT financial health, but its ability to deliver dignified housing to our residents. Honourable Speaker, the Freedom Front Plus calls for an urgent financial oversight session with HCT leadership, a recovery plan aligned with MFMA and Treasury norms to be tabled within 30 days to the Section 79 Committee, immediate resolution of audit findings and finalization of the CFO appointment. We cannot allow social housing to be undetermined by poor governance. We must act decisively, not only to restore compliance, but to restore public trust. We are voting against this report. We can never go with any report that is breaking MFMA law.
A16. Thank you. Let's move Councillors' report of Oversight and Standing Committees reporting direct to Council. Honourable Councillors, I will now call the Chair of Chairs to submit to Council the reports emanating from the Section 79 committees for consideration. Chair of Chairs.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker.
Just hold on, Chair. Just hold on. What is the point of information?
Thank you, Speaker. Sorry to interrupt. Speaker, you would recall the last meeting, myself and the Chair of Chairs had a discussion on E1 and E2 of the reports. If we can quickly have a 10 minutes discussion with the committee members of Environmental Affairs and Agriculture, please, Speaker.
Thank you very much. I believe, Councillor, let's allow the Chair of Chairs to table the report. If there is a report that this House needs to take a break to discuss with the members of the committee, it is the Chair of Chairs that will tell us to do that. Thank you very much. Chair of Chairs.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I'm glad that today we get to realize that in the absence of Honourable Fosi, Honourable Makhalengi, and Alderman Brink, the noise then goes to the senior citizens. We are now getting noise from the senior citizens. I don't know, Mtimunye is forever being, hot-spotted. So today is quiet. I'm glad Nomaziane be quiet just like that. Thank you very much, Speaker. I come to Council today before I greet, or must I then greet first yourself, Honourable Speaker, Her Worship,
the Executive Mayor, Dr. Hazy, the Honorable Deputy Mayor, Ntate Bonzo, Honorable Chief Kekana and his entourage in the absentia, Honorable Chief Matlangu in his absentia with his entourage. By the way, I must thank you, Speaker. I had a wonderful stay in Kwakekana there on Saturday on your behalf, sir. Leader of Executive Business, Ntate Malulega, the chairpersons of Section 79 committees, leaders of all political parties represented in council, honorable councillors, officials, members of the media, esteemed City of Tshwane residents, and all the public. Speaker, as I've said, I come with a heavy heart from Mitsweding after two armed guys went to a shebeen on Sunday morning and randomly shot about 11 people. 5 of those have lost their lives. 6 went to the hospital and 4 have been discharged. We call upon our Almighty God to stay with the 2 remaining. With that said, we couldn't celebrate the 2 teachers coming from the same Mitsweding zone who got position 1 in the Teachers Awards. Former school of Teacher De Brain, Umama Umpo Nomakai, who got a gold medal, and Mtumiseni Mtiane from Strauss Secondary School, who got a silver medal, and Umama Ukate Magagula from Sizanani LCN in Brongospruit. We couldn't get time to celebrate them, but we thank the Premier for visiting the families yesterday, and other leaders. The Deputy Executive Mayor was there the day before yesterday. Thank you very much for your support in making sure that those families see government when the government is needed. Honorable Speaker, today I come to this council, Continuation Council, to present the reports. Public accounts from the 22nd August 2025, Corporate and Shared Services, the 4th of September 2025, Health, the 19th of August 2025, Environmental Management from the meeting held on the 21st of August 2025, Community and Social Development Service, the 19th of August 2025, Housing and Human Settlement meeting held on the 9th of September 2025, Group Financial Service, 22nd of August, and on the 11th of September 2025, Tshwane Geographical Names on the 1st of September 2025, Rules and Ethics on the 12th of September 2025, Economic Development and Spatial Planning the 14th of August 2025, Utility Services from the 4th of September 2025. Honorable Speaker, let's rather congratulate the executive on their 1-year celebration. We've been there as the referees, keeping them on their toes, but we have seen the wonderful job they have been doing all this year. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work. We really want to send that. Honorable Speaker, can I then ask for 10 minutes for Bengitlole ngeschedule ngithi ngiba imzuzu elisumi bonyana ngiyokukhulumisana nebomnyango wezebhoduluko. Angazi mina kwethu uzongizwa le but ngikhuluma naye. 10 minutes caucus, please, Speaker. And the Honorable Speaker, the reports are tabled.
Thank you so much, Chair of Chairs. 10 minutes is granted. Thank you very much, councillors. The 10 minutes is up. Thank you so much. Can we all be seated? Let me hand it over to you, Chair of Chairs, Councillor Tabang. All councillors that are standing, please take your seats. Chair of Chairs.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for awarding me that 10 minutes. I've spoken to the committee and we have agreed, Honorable Speaker, that we will be withdrawing, or I will be withdrawing report E1. And on E2, Honorable Speaker, there was a mistake there that the Secretariat copy and paste recommendations from D1, then took it to E2. Now, Honorable G. Haramse will assist us with the recommendations that were supposed to be in that one. Then, on petitions, that is B5. Speaker, I was requested by the DA caucus to rectify there that they wanted us to note their dissenting vote, but instead in the report, it only states their whip's dissenting vote instead of all the members. So they say we must just correct that to say we must register that all the members, all the members' dissenting vote must be registered in this report, Honorable Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair of Chairs. If I may, can you repeat item E2? Can you repeat that one so that to make sure that I get it right?
Okay, Speaker, thank you very much. Speaker, on E2, recommendations were just copied and pasted there from D1. They are the same as the ones in D1. So, Honorable D. Ramsey will assist us with the recommendations that were supposed to be in that report, Honorable Speaker. We are not withdrawing that one. I'm only withdrawing report E1 from this report.
Thank you so much, Chair of Chairs. Let's then move on. From Section 79A, Standing Committee Public Accounts, 22nd August 2025. Item 1, Group Financial Services Department Municipal Property Rate Evaluation Report 2022 to 2023 financial year. This report is on page 5 to page 17. Recommendations are on page 17 as recommended. Item 2, Office of the City Manager Department Status Report on the resolution of the issued material irregular findings as at 27th May 2025. Recommendations are on 18 to page 24 as recommended. Item 3, Group Financial Services Local Government Municipal Finance Management Act 2003, Act 56 of 2003, in-year financial report, monthly and quarterly budget statement for the period ending 30th June 2025. This report is on page 25 to 62. Recommendations are on 62 as recommended. Item 4, Water and Sanitation Department report on water tankers, current services progress, and expenditure breakdown report on water tanker services from 1st July 2024 to 30th June 2024. This report is on page 63 to page 74 as recommended. Item 5, Office of the Speaker, Municipal Public Accounts Committee and PEC Consolidated Annual Performance Report for the 2024-2025 financial year. This report is on page 75 to 136. Recommendations are on page 136 as recommended. Office of the City Manager Status Report on the resolution of the issue material irregularity findings as at 23rd July 2024. This report is on page 137 to 143. Recommendations are on 143 as recommended. Housing and Human Settlement Department report, water tankers current service progress and expenditure breakdown for report 01 July 2024 to 31st December 2024. This report is in page 144 to 163. On this item, I've got Councillor Mayor. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I raised this at the impact meeting as well, but I need the council should be made aware of this. There's a serious concern about the financial transparency and sustainability of water delivery to informal settlements. The report says the cost per litre to be delivered cannot be given, but this is not correct. And I'm not going to deal with the total calculations, how I got there, but it's easy if you just look at the figures in the report. We can consider this: the city purchases bulk water, say from Rand Water, at let's assume 1 cent per litre. But the delivery of this water is 10.3 cents per litre, which is 1,030% markup on the delivery cost alone through water tankers. Speaker, this is not just expensive, it is alarming. We are paying over 10 times the base cost just to move water. And this is only for 148 settlements. There are 502 informal settlements in total. If now we scale this up and use the same model, it would cost us over 700 million per year to provide these informal settlements with water. And this is not sustainable. Tankers are costly, vulnerable to breakdowns and open to abuse. They do not build permanent access to water. We must consider a cost-benefit analysis to compare this with capital investment. What if we redirect a part of this budget towards borehoules with solar pumps, communal standpipes, small-scale reticulation systems, just to mention a few? And these options offer low long-term costs, less risk, and greater dignity for our residents. Short-term actions: we can order tanker routes and costs, pilot borehoules in high-density settlements, improve scheduling and monitoring of the water tankers. And the long-term strategy should be to invest in permanent infrastructure, partner with national departments for funding if necessary, use GIS mapping to prioritize high-need areas. Speaker, water is a basic right. Delivering it by tanker at high cost with no plan for sustainability is not responsible governance. We as the...
Sorry, Councillor. Operator, can you show the remaining time? Please don't fail me on this. Show the remaining time of the 3 minutes, please.
I'm almost finished, Speaker. I've got 1 sentence left. We as the Freedom Front Plus demand full cost disclosure that a cost-benefit analysis be initiated, which will shift from emergency delivery to permanent dignity. I thank you.
Thank you very much. That was item 7 as recommended. B, from the Section 79 Oversight Committee, Corporate and Shared Services, 4th September 2025. Item 1, Group Human Capital Management Department, Human Capital, a report on staff vacancy rate of the city. This report is on page 4 to page 9. Recommendations are on page 9. On this item, I've got Councillor Crab. Yeah.
Thanks, Speaker. This report is not just operational, but also constitutional. The store vacancy rate report, when read alongside an employment equity report and the financial report, reveal a city in distress. We currently fund 18,263 full positions at a cost of 12.5 billion rand annually. But we also have 12,470 approved posts sitting vacant. If filled, our wage bill will surge over 21 billion, a 68% increase. This is not a theoretical figure, it's a factual reality. Yet, even as service delivery collapses in departments like energy, water, and emergency services, where vacancy rates exceed 70%, we are unable to recruit. Why? Because the equity report shows overrepresentation in key demographic categories. We are trapped in a policy paradox. We cannot fill positions without breaching equity targets, and we cannot meet our mandate without filling posts. This directly contravenes the Municipal Systems Act, which mandate universal access to essential services and the empowering commitment of communities to demand accountability. It also undermines the MFMA, which requires municipalities to ensure sustainable financial management and efficient service delivery. Section 62 of the MFMA places fiducial responsibility on the municipal manager to prevent fruitless and wasteful expenditure. What is more wasteful than funding a workforce that cannot deliver? Let us not forget our constitutional obligation under Chapter 7 of the Constitution of South Africa to provide democratic and accountable governance and ensure basic services to our residents. Right now, we are failing that mandate. As the VF Plus, we demand a unified staffing framework, one that prioritizes critical service posts, respect equity obligation, and reflect physical reality. Because if we do not act now, we will not only fail our residents, we will also fail every principle of governance we were elected to uphold. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. The next speaker is Councillor Johan van der Spey.
Sorry, Speaker, which report are you referring to right now?
I apologize. You are speaking on item 3, ne? Okay, thank you very much. As recommended.
I'm waiving, Speaker.
Okay, thank you. Item 2, you are waiving. Group Human Capital Management Department report on the status of the persons with disability within the city of Tshwane during Q2 of 2024. Period 1 July 2024 to 31st December 2024. This report is on page 10 to page 93. Recommendations are on 19. Are you waiving on this one? Councillor Spey? Okay, thank you very much. As recommended, let's move to item 3. Governance and Support Services Group Legal and Secretariat Service report on O3 performance, Q3 performance review. This report is on page 94 to page 107. Recommendations are on page 96. Are you waiving on this one as well? As recommended. Let's move to item 4. Group Legal and Secretary Service report on the pending important legal matters that the city of Tshwane is currently involved. This report is on page 108 to 158. Recommendations are on 116. And Councillor Spey, are you waiving on this one as well? You are speaking on this one. Okay, your 3 minutes starts now.
Honourable Speaker, this report exposes the extent of corruption, incompetence and mismanagement within the City of Tshwane's legal and governance structures. What we are dealing with is not just poor performance, it is a catastrophic failure of leadership that puts the entire city at risk. over 3,470 active legal cases, some dating back to before 2008. This is not oversight, it is outright negligence, and it raises a damning question: who benefits from dragging out these cases for decades? How many millions have been wasted on lawyers while residents go without water, electricity, and ever deteriorating service delivery? We are staring down the barrel of 12.5 billion rand in contingent liabilities. A mere 12 cases account for over 10 billion rand. It inter alia includes Eskom, Tobela Telecoms, and Octopus Production. Yet this department sleepwalks without a plan, without leadership, without accountability. Instead of addressing risks, we see year-on-year increases in litigation. Courts are even holding us liable for failing to provide emergency housing after evictions because the city cannot plan or comply with constitutional obligations. Speaker, let us not pretend this is accidental. Tender reviews, irregular contracts, delays, and failed service delivery. These are red flags for corruption, fraud, and cadre deployment at work. And let's call it what it is. Cadre deployment is the root of this crisis. Mr. Speaker, this department has become a feeding trough for the infamous panel of attorneys, consultants, and politically connected cronies while residents suffer. Tshwane deserves better than endless court battles, ballooning liabilities, and a legal department that has abandoned its constitutional duty. Residents cannot continue paying the price for ANC-led incompetence, cadre deployment, and corruption. We cannot allow Tshwane to be looted into bankruptcy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor. As recommended, Item 5, Office of the Speaker, Annual Report on the Section 79 Oversight Committee, Corporate and Shared Services for 2024-2025 financial year. This report is on page 159 to page 222. Recommendations are on 180. As recommended, Item C, from the Section 79 Oversight Committee, held 19 August 2025. Item 1, Health Department, Operations Support Division Program Management. Progress report on the construction of new Lusaka Clinic as of 30th June 2025. This report is on page 4 to page 10. As recommended, Item 2, Health Department, Operation Support, Multi-Sectoral AIDS Response Management Unit, report on the implementation of ward-based door-to-door education on HIV, TB, and STI education, including in the multi-sectoral HIV, TB, and STI response program within the city of Tshwane for period 01 July 2024 to 30th June 2025. This report is on page 11 to page 33. Recommendations are on 33 as recommended. We move to item D. From the continuation of Section 79 Oversight Committee, Environmental Management, 21st August 2025. Item 1, Environmental and Agriculture Management Department, Waste Management Division. Report on informal settlement waste collection, section scheduling, and resource allocation. This report is on page 4 to page 6, and recommendations are on page 6 as recommended. Item 2, Environment and Agriculture Management Department, Agriculture and Rural Department Division. Report on training and capacity building on smallholder farmers. And this report is on page 7 to page 10. Recommendations are on 10 as recommended. As recommended. Item 3, Environment and Agriculture Management Department, Agriculture and Rural Development Division, report on food gardens supported. And this report is on page 11 to page 14. Recommendations are on page 14. As recommended. Let's move to item E from the Section 79 Oversight Committee Environmental Management at 21st August 2025. Item 1 has been withdrawn. Item 2, Group Financial Services Department, funding for air quality stations citywide. This report is on page 19 to page 20. On this report, I've got Councillor Hamse to speak. You have 3 minutes, that's now.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I'm not going to have a speech. I'm just going to ask for the amendment as discussed previously. The amendment on report E2 will read as follows, that the recommendation 1 and 2 be deleted and replaced with the following amendment.
Just a second, Councillor. Councillors, can you please sit down? Don't conduct a meeting within a meeting. Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor.
That the recommendation 1 and 2 be deleted and replaced with the following amendment. That is a truly reflection of the recommendations accepted by the Environmental Affairs and Agriculture Committee on the 21st of August 2025. The amendment will read as follows. That the Environmental and Agriculture Committee advocates for the Department to submit a request for funding through the normal budgeting process during the annual or adjustment process, accompanied by sufficient motivation for the inclusion and possible funding during the 2025-2026 adjustment budget. This will enable the Budget Steering Committee to consider the submission with the rest of other competing priorities of the Metro. It is proposed by myself, Councillor Dia Armse, and seconded by Councillor Y. Zumba. Thank you.
The new amendment on the report on E item 2, that recommendation 1 and 2 be deleted and replaced with the following. That is a true reflection of the recommendation accepted by the Environmental Affairs and Agriculture Committee on the 21st of August 2024. And then the amendment, is this amendment or what? Okay. The amendment will read as follows. That Environmental and Agricultural Committee advocates for the department to submit a request for funding through the normal budgeting processes during the annual or adjustment budget process, accompanied by sufficient motivation for the inclusive and possible funding during the 2025-2026 adjustment budget. This enabled the Budget Steering Committee to consider the submission with the rest of other competing priorities of the Metro. This is proposed by Councillor Hamse and seconded by Councillor Nzumba. As amended. Let's move to item F. Are you speaking, Council? Okay, point of information.
Yeah. I saw colleagues were having a caucus earlier on, right? And they were having deliberations, but these are reports that were tabled by the chair of chairs, right? then similar to what executive mayor does with amendments and additions to a report, the chair of chairs through section 13.5, he was supposed to do what the councillor was doing there. I'm saying that we can accept what happened, but it should not happen that way because of these are reports of the chair of chairs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is noted. Item F from Section 79 Oversight Committee, Community and Social Development Services, 19 August 2025. Item 1, Office of the Speaker, Mid-Term Report on Section 79 Oversight Committee, Community and Social Development for 2024-2025 financial year. This report is on page 5 to page 28. Recommendations are on 16 as recommended. Item 2, Community and Safety Development, Social Development Services Department, Sports, Stadium and Facility Development Division, report on the request for informal on Refilwe Stadium arbitration process. This report is on page 29 to 72. Recommendations are on 32 as recommended. Item 3, Community and Social Development Services Department, report on status of leased city-owned facilities to NPOs and the revised special framework. This report is on page 75 to page 85. Recommendations are on 81 as recommended. Item 4, Office of the Speaker report on the CSDS Section 79 Committee resolutions for the period 2021-2025 and status of implementation by the department. This report is on page 86 to page 151. Recommendations are on 100 as recommended. Item G from Section 79 Oversight Committee, Housing and Human Settlement, 9th September 2025. Human Settlement Department, further report financial and non-financial quarterly performance for quarter 4 2024-2025 financial year. This report is on page 5 to page 44. Recommendations are on page 44. On this one, I've got Lena van Rensbeck. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Honourable Speaker, this council should state the accountability of this department. The reports we have received reveal a disturbing pattern of financial mismanagement and project failures within the Human Settlements Department. A pattern that, as we representatives of the Freedom Front Plus, must address with urgency. These issues are a direct contravention of the Municipal Finance Management Act, which is the very backbone of our fiscal responsibility. Adding to this, there is a clear breakdown of our financial reporting, key documents such as the UIFW register that are not being submitted monthly, as required by law, if you can refer to page 180. Honourable Speaker, how can we justify continued expenditure when project milestones are not being met? This is a lack of transparency. It erodes public trust, and it directly contravenes the Municipal Financial Management Act, which is a law. We have faced significant financial losses over poor judgment, inadequate designs from consultant on a sewer project that has forced to let damages be lost of 34 million rand. This is a reminder that poor planning cost this council millions. Honourable Speaker, we would like to recommend and propose a recommendation to this report. A formal MFMA compliance audit across human settlements and HCT. A recovery and accountability plan to be tabled within 30 days. Immediate resolution of the audit findings of the finalization of the CFO appointment of HCT, transparent public disclosure of financial risk and mitigation strategies, proposed by myself and seconded by Councillor Mandla Mklopo.
The new proposal of the new recommendations that are proposed: one, a formal MFMA compliance audit across all housing, human settlement and HCT. Two, a recovery and accountability plan to be tabled within 30 days. Three, immediate resolution of audit findings and finalization of CFO appointment of HCT. Transparent public disclosure of finance risk and multiplication strategy. This is proposed by Councillor Lena van Rensburg and seconded by Councillor Mandla Mklopo. Is okay, the leader of the executive.
No, thanks, Chair. I thought at one point I would ignore Councillor Leno and be civil with her, but I think I must make her my preoccupation and business. We go to a committee meeting. I attend all committee meetings. We engage openly, accept even things that were done by the previous government. The CFO of HCT, city manager, was appointed, that person, signed contract, appointed, he disappeared. When he has to face consequence management for his failure to deal with Auditor General matters, is that my failure? Is that the entity's failure? Why are you apportioning us that blame? Why are you not writing in the media that you failed, you appointed the wrong person that ran away when we were supposed to do audit? Now you want to bring it to us. That's utter nonsense. It's unacceptable to do that. We are now in the process of appointing a new CFO. We are dealing with audit matters. The budget office has seconded a person that is an acting CFO, highly qualified individual who's assisting us as we speak. You are saying to us we must bring UIWF every month here. Do you even really understand what UIWFs are all about? Do you understand the value chain of even detecting UIWFs? Don't speak for the sake of speaking and you want to take your videos. People that are going to see these videos are going to laugh at you. You are making a joke out of yourself about things of regulation, accountability, and transparency. They don't work here in the comments and the recommendation that we're making. We've answered all the issues that we're raising. There's an item in the Oversight Committee called calling for reports. You are afforded space to call for reports for further information, and we are feeding you with this information. But because of you like cameras, because of you like listening to your voice that doesn't make sense, you want to repeat these errors that you're repeating. But we can't continue listening to you, Councillor Leno, like this. You know, my colleagues, when we sit in the committee, the way they attack you, I sometimes feel they are wrong in what they're doing. But every day you're justifying and convincing me that I must live and look at you having that comedy show that you are conducting in the Oversight Committee. Therefore, continue with what you're doing. We are rejecting this recommendation because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. This is anarchy. Anarchy, it's madness. Let's go back to the committee that I attend every month. I spare time to attend that committee meeting, to engage you and explain ourselves on the work that we're doing. But you are continuing to commit errors. But because of you want to make yourself a joke, continue becoming a joke, but you are rejecting this recommendation. Thank you.
thank you very much. Yes, point of order, Emmett. Can you press the mic? Thank you very much. Councillor Van Rensbeck, are you withdrawing the recommendation? Or are you engaging with the leader of the executive? Or are you taking it back to the committee? Councillor Van Rensbeck?
Speaker, can you please divide the House? Thank you.
Okay. All right, then let's then divide the House. Those who are for the report. I read the recommendations. I'm saying those who are for the recommendations then. It's a report, the same thing. That's sure. Let's finish the voting, Chair of Chairs. All right. You may lower your hands. You may lower your hands. Those who are against the recommendations. You may lower your hands. Those who abstain, can we finish the voting first? Those who abstain? Okay, thank you very much. Those who are against, or those who are for the recommendations, 65. Those who are against, 99. Abstain is 0. As recommended.
Thank you, Speaker. For record purposes, Speaker, the opposition voted for the recommendations. The amendment. Or for the amendments on that report. Thank you.
I'll be lying if I said I heard you. Can you repeat yourself, please?
Speaker, the opposition voted for the amendments on the report. And not the recommendations.
I don't know where you are. But all I know is that I read the recommendations and I said to those who are for the recommendations. Then you all raise your hand and you are 65. And those who are against the recommendations, they've raised their hands and they are 99. So I don't know where is the problem. Thank you very much, and it has been recommended. Thank you so much. Can we move then to item 2? Report on the inspection in local at Refiramena Reservoir project by Section 79. Yes, Leader of the Executive.
I want to check if Councillor Grandi wants to go and check with the Secretariat whether the numbers are correct. Or is he accepting the outcome? Are you fine?
Thank you very much. Can we move on? Report on inspection in loco at the Refiramena Reservoir project by Section 79 Oversight Committee, Housing and Human Settlement Committee. This report is on page 45 to 50. Recommendations are on 50 as recommended. Item 3, progress report for development of portion of remainder of portion 284 of the farm Gasfontein 374 JR Pretoria's Park Extension 40 Township. This report is on page 51 to 57. Recommendations are on 57 as recommended. At a time for record. As recommended. Item 4, Housing Company Tshwane report on the Chantel Social Housing Project. This report is on page 58 to page 68. The recommendations are on page 68 as recommended. Item 5, Housing Human Settlement and Human Settlement report on annual grants performance report 2024 to 2025 managed by Housing Company Tshwane. This report is on page 69 to 72. Recommendations are on 68 as recommended. Item 6, Human and Settlement Department comprehensive report on the implementation of the Mamelodi Mixed Use Hostel Precedence Urban Development Framework. This report is on page 73 to 93. Recommendations are on 78 as recommended. Item 7 as recommended. Item 7, Using Housing Human Settlement Department progress report on the mayoral housing project in Archersville Extension 19. This report is on page 94 to page 256. Recommendations are on 99. As recommended. Item 8, Human Settlement Department progress report on the relocation of 70 South Africans from Wolfspreit to Pienaarsport. This report is on page 257 to 267. Recommendations are on 261 as recommended. Item 9, Human Settlement Department comprehensive report on the implementation of Strathville Hospital Precinct Urban Development Framework. This report is on page 268 to 280. Recommendations are on 274 as recommended. Okay, let's go to item H from the special meeting, Section 79 Oversight Committee, Group Financial Services, 22nd August 2025. Item 1, Group Financial Services Department, Revenue Management Division. Status update on billing for the period of 01 to 30th June 2025. This report is on page 4 to page 17. Recommendations are on 17 as recommended. Item 2, Group Financial Services, Revenue Management Division. Status update on debts book for the period ended 30th June 2025. This report is on page 18 to page 42. Recommendations are on 42. As recommended. 3, Group Financial Services Revenue Management Division. Meter reading status report for the period of 01 to 30th June 2025. This report is on page 43 to 51. Recommendations are on 51. As recommended, we move to item I from section 79, Oversight Committee, Group Financial Services, 11th September 2025. Let me check. Okay. Item 1, Group Financial Services, Supply Chain Management Division. Supply Chain Management Performance Report for the first quarter of 2024-2025 financial year. This report is on page 4 to page 97. As recommended. Item 2, Irregular Expenditure Report, Financial Year End 2023-2024. This report is on page 98 to page 103. Recommendations are on page 103. As recommended. Item 3, Group Financial Services, Supply Chain Management Division. Supply Chain Management response to Section 79 Committee meeting held on the 20th of February 2025, an oversight status report on the sewer maintenance tender in Region 1. This report is on page 104 to 105. Recommendations are on page 105. As recommended. Item 4, Group Financial Services Department, Revenue Management Division. Status update employee and council report for month end 31st July 2025. This report is on page 106 to 108. Recommendations are on page 108. As recommended. Let's move to item 5, Group Financial Service Department, Revenue Management Division. Status update on debt book for the period ended 31st July 2025. This report is on page 109 to 131. Recommendations are on 131 as recommended. Item 6, Group Financial Services Revenue Management Division. Meter reading status report for the report of 01 to 31st July 2025. This report is on page 132 to 140. Recommendations are on 140 as recommended. Item 7, Group Financial Services Department, Revenue Management Division. Status update on billing for the period of 01 to 31st July 2025. This report is on page 141 to 151. Recommendations are on 151 as recommended. Right. Item J, from Section 79 Standing Committee to our Geographical Names, 11 September 2025. Economic Development and Spatial Planning Department, City Planning and Development Division. Approval of names to populate the Geographical Name Bank, Communication Terminology, Phase 3. This report is on page 5 to page 17. Recommendations are on page 9 as recommended. 2, Economic Development and Spatial Planning Department, City Planning and Development Division. Approval of names or to populate the Geographical Names Bank, SA Food and Beverage Phase 7. This report is on page 18 to page 29. Recommendations are on 22. As recommended, Economic Development, Special Planning Department, City Planning and Development Division. Further report on the approval of the public participation process for the renaming of Stilbego Street to in Winterfeld Extension 3, Ward 19. This report is on page 29 to 98. Recommendations are on 34 as recommended. Who's okay? Yes, Chair of Chairs.
Speaker, for the purpose of the minutes, it's 29 to 94.
Thank you so much. It's page 29 to page 94. Recommendations are on 34. Thank you for that. Item 4, Economic Development and the Spatial Planning Department, City Planning and Development Division. Approval of a township zone name on the farm Velgewonen. Hey. 124 Badenville Banti, 124 JR and part of Velgewonen 93 JR in Ward 73. This report is on page 96 to 145. Recommendations are on 102. As recommended, item 5, Economic Development and the Spatial Planning Department, City Planning and Development Division. Approval of a township zone name on the farm Klipdrift 90 JR in Ward 73. This report is on page 146 to page 184. Recommendations are on 153. As recommended, item K, from the Section 79 Committee Rules and Ethics, 12 September. Deputy Chief Whip KG Makhaleni, Councillor Makhaleni referred the ruling of the Speaker of Council to Section 79 Standing Committee, Rules and Ethics Committee, and in terms of Section 40 of Rules and Orders Bylaw. This report is on page 4 to page 8. Recommendations are on 7 as recommended. Item L, from the Section 79 Oversight Committee, Economic Development and Spatial Planning, 14th August 2025. All right. Economic Development and the Spatial Planning Department on a report on all properties owned, developed, or planned for development by M&T Property Development, M&T Holding, and Centurion Vision Development in Centurion, Region 4 since 1996. This report is on page 4 to page 22. Recommendations are on page 7. On this item, I've got Councillor Joubert. Your 3 minutes starts now. Thank you very much. As recommended, let's move to item M from Section 79 Oversight Committee, Utility Services meeting, 4th September 2024. Regional Operation and Coordination Department, Quarter 4 and Annual Performance, Financial Year 2024-2025. This report is on page 5 to page 20. Recommendations are on page 20. And on this item, I've got Councillor Jacob. No. As recommended, Office of the Speaker, Annual Report on the Section 72 Oversight Committee, Utility Services for 2024-2025 financial year. This report is on 21 to page 21 to page 50. Recommendations on page 52 as recommended. As recommended. Item 3, Energy and Electricity Department, Quarter 4 Performance Review Report for 2024-2025 financial year. This report is on page 51 to page 121. Recommendations are on page 121. I've got Councillor Andre Jacobs. You have 3 minutes. Thank you very much. As recommended, item 4, Energy and Electricity Department, Energy and Electricity Business Unit, Section 79 Oversight Committee, report on quality of service and supply for the electricity distribution network. This report is on page 122 to 135. Recommendations are on 135. And also I've got Councillor Jacobs. As recommended, item 5, Water and Sanitation Department, Water and Sanitation Business Unit, Quarter 4 Performance Report for 2024-2025 financial year, including the 2025-2026 Business Plan for Water and Sanitation. This report is on page 136 to 147. Recommendations are on 147 as recommended. 6, Water and Sanitation Department, Water and Sanitation Business Unit, Infrastructure Planning and Implementation. Report on the status of the installation of sewerage pipelines in Sikampaneng. This report is on page 142 to 149. Recommendations are on 149. As recommended. 7, Water and Sanitation Department, bulk water and wastewater services report on the of Tshwane wastewater treatment works, regulatory requirements and monthly influent discharge quality compliance. This report is on page 150 to 175. Recommendations are on 175 as recommended. 8, Water and Sanitation Department, bulk water and wastewater services, progress on water availability in Inkaheng, Mamelodi. This report is on page 176 to page 182. Recommendations are on 182 as recommended. Item 9, Water and Sanitation Department, Infrastructure Planning and Implementation Report on main sewer line running below Clearwater Estate, Redfallen Rent, Ward 47. This report is on page 183 to 187. Recommendations are on 187 as recommended. Item 10, Water and Sanitation Department, Water and Sanitation, Infrastructure Planning and Implementation. Report on the calculations of non-revenue water and the measures in place to reduce the non-revenue water for period ending Q4 of 2024-2025 financial year and at the beginning of the 2025-2026 financial year. This report is on page 188 to 203. Recommendations are on 2803 as recommended. Item 11, Water and Sanitation, bulk water and waste water services, City of Tshwane Water Quality Report. This report is on page 204 to page 218. Recommendations are on page 218. Honorable older women, elder women, elder men, and councillors. As recommended, Danko. Honorable elder women, elder men, and councillors, you have 30 minutes in total to discuss Annexure B. All right. B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6. Thank you. Questions of which notice has been given. Honorable councillors, I've received questions from Alderman C. Brink, Councillors GP Fesa, Councillor J. Ace, and M.E. Kruger-Muller. In terms of section, yes, MMC.
No, thank you, Speaker. I am rising on a point of order. You know, Speaker, going forward, we must have an honest conversation about the abuse that we go through with the members of the DA. The leader of the DA goes and send an apology. He says it's a leave to the Chief Whip's office. When we open our social media, he's in a meeting with Gerinel, AfriForum leadership, while these ones are busy fighting for annexures. That AfriForum is busy taking the Afrikaner vote with Brink. But what is fascinating and what is amazing is that he goes and discusses with Geriner about the deal that he claims that there's a corruption that was appointed by his administration of the DA. So this is one of the things that we must look into. For me, in a normal council, that person is putting the council into disrepute because he can abscond council and he goes and discuss about council matters with some Afrikaners. You can howl, but the truth is that you are undermining council.
Thank you so much, MMC. That is noted.
But it must be noted that the people are howling that side.
Thank you so much, MMC. Thank you. In terms of Section 10(1)(b) of the Rules and Orders, and these questions were referred to the Executive Mayor for response. Motions or proposal deferred from previous meeting on the 28th August 2024, there are none. And we have received a motion. Come here, Anderson. Thank you very much, councillors. New motion 9, policy directive on the regulations of opening and closing time of public swimming pools. This motion was received from Alderman C. Brink, seconded by Councillor T. Ifosi. In terms of, yes, MMC.
No, Speaker, I am raising on the point of order, Section 7, Section 37 on the point of order. I'm not even scared of you, all of you. You are old Madalas who failed. Political factory faults. You are not even, I'm not even, look at Grandi. Imagine Grandi fighting. Grandi, you are going to collapse.
Thank you very much. Can you address me, MMC, please?
Oh, I must be protected. If I'm not protected, I'll protect myself. People come scream at me for the second time. You are not telling them anything. No.
You must allow that space. If you
I'm
are
allowing,
not allowing me that
no, take
space,
the
how can
space.
I protect you?
Take the space. It's yours. Take it. Because they are howling at me.
Councillors, can we allow the MMC to raise the point of order? Can we allow it? Can we allow it? You've been speaking and you've been allowed to do so. Can we allow the MMC to raise the point of order? Councillors, Go ahead, MMC.
No, we're not political tourists. Next elections, you are going to MK. You are touring like, I don't know, opportunist. Don't, hey.
MMC, please.
No, you can hear, I must respond. I can't allow. Not me. They can try it somewhere. The motion that you have brought here with a person who's not in this council, I want you, Speaker, to guide me. How must we entertain the motion of someone who has seconded this council to go and deal with Gerinel and FF Plus?
Thank you very much,
Thanks.
MMC. And councillors, can I be allowed? Thank you. I was reading the heading of the motion. Then when we go to section 18 of Rules and Orders, subsection D, a motion lapses if the member who submitted it is not present at the meeting at which the motion is being debated. So this motion falls off. Honorable councillors, any petitions? There is one. Can you please read the heading of the petition? Then you submit it. Thank you. Can you press your mic, please, and read the heading?
Petition from residents of Ikonje, Mpisi, Port Jojo, and streets of Ward 18, Mamelodi Extension 2. Guidance.
Thank you very much. The petition has been received. Honorable councillors, at my discretion in terms of section 8(1)(k) of the Rules and Orders, I am submitting to you the following report for consideration. Item 1, the Office of the Speaker, Amendment Annual Program of Ward Committee and Councillors Quarterly Public Meetings from the 1st October 2025 to 30th June 2026. This report is in page 4 to page 26. Recommendations are on page 8 as recommended. Honorable councillors, I thank you for your valuable input during this meeting, and the meeting is concluded. The meeting is adjourned. Anderson.